Nancy, how are you doing today?
Not too good. I'm having a lot of pain and I don't know if I'm making much progress with the PT.
Well, sometimes when we focus on only the pain, it can be discouraging, and because it doesn't go away as quickly as we'd like it to, and especially how hard you're working, I can understand that being discouraging. Before we talk about some ways to help with your pain, do you mind if we talk about some areas where you've seen improvements since your first day at PT?
Okay, yeah, might make me feel better.
Yeah, so what activities would you say maybe have gotten easier or you've been able to do longer since starting PT 2 weeks ago?
Well, I guess I started walking more since I started PT and more often and longer. I can walk longer since I started. Also, the pain that I was having down in my legs, seems to be just more in my lower back, not in my legs as much.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, and the other day I had to run some errands, and so I was in the car driving about 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed my back didn't hurt after I got out.
That's great. How does that feel to accomplish those things without as much pain?
Well, pretty good, now that we're talking about it. But I am still getting a lot of irritation in my back, especially doing just housework stuff, vacuuming. Oh, it kills my back. And, when I'm with my grandkids, picking them up, it can really hurt.
Yeah. Well, last session we talked a little bit about maybe how your Suboxone that you're taking could be exacerbating your back pain. Do you mind if we maybe talk about that and how tapering off of the Suboxone could potentially help your back pain and decrease your pain overall?
Okay, I'm unsure about that, but what would tapering off look like?
Yeah, so tapering off would be basically decreasing the amount of Suboxone you're taking every couple of days until eventually you're taking none. So that would help with the withdrawal effects and any side effects that come with tapering off of the Suboxone, and could help also just sustain your recovery.
Okay. I don't know. I'm really scared that I will go back on to the hydrocodone.
Yeah, I understand your concerns, and especially with how hard you've worked this past year to stay with recovery. What do you think would cause you to go back to taking opioids?
Well, I started taking them 3 years ago after a car wreck, and the pain was pretty bad. And so they started me on them, and I'm just scared now that I've gotten off those that if I get off the Suboxone, I would go back to them.
Yeah, I appreciate your honesty, and I understand why you feel that way. Suppose you don't change the way that you're currently dealing with your pain. What do you think the worst thing could be? How do you imagine the future looking?
I don't know. If I had to deal with the pain, I would rather be on pain medicine. Although I will have to say, the home exercises that you prescribed, I've been doing them 2 to 3 times a day. And I guess I have learned how to control a little bit of my pain through that. It's been better.
Good.
And up to this point, before PT, I haven't tried to taper off because my daughter won't let me be around her the kids, my grandkids, if I get back on the pain meds.
Yeah, I understand that. This pain is a hard thing for you to have to deal with, and understand why you feel that way. What is the best thing that you could imagine coming about being able to change how you're dealing with your pain right now?
Well, the best thing would be, no more constant pain. That would be great. Being able to be around my grandkids, I'd love that. And, I might take up gardening again. I used to enjoy that.
Yeah, those all sound like great goals for the future, and based on how hard you're working at PT, I think we could get you back to those activities, and just to help deal with your pain with more exercises, and we have a couple different strategies we can try to help with that.
Yeah. Well, I would love that. I'm still not sure about dealing with the pain or the withdrawal effects from tapering off the Suboxone.
Yeah, I can see that being difficult for you. Did you think is there anything that maybe could help with that process, make it easier for you?
Well, maybe doing PT every other day, and that might give me some short-term relief. I might be able to get my daughter to come and stay with me as I'm tapering off, and that would be a great help.
Yeah, those all sound like great ways to help you while you taper off your Suboxone. I think that physical therapy will help decrease your pain as you're tapering off, and it sounds like your daughter really cares about you, what you've told me about her. So I think those are both viable options. I can also, if you'd like, I can give you some numbers of other healthcare providers that could also be a support system for you as you start to taper off the Suboxone. And also just remember that right now in PT we're working on just your brain is an alarm system for pain, and so right now it's on overdrive, and so we're working on dialing the pain down through the education, the manual therapy, the stretching, the exercises, and those are just working on the root of the problem and working on that pain, and hopefully that'll help to decrease the signals that are going to your brain. And we can also discuss later what causes the withdrawal symptoms, what to expect, how long they may last, and just ways to handle it better. And you've already laid the groundwork to start that process with already working hard in PT, and I think that would make it a little bit easier to transition. I'm not going to say that it's going to be easy, but you're already doing a great job with it.
I appreciate that. That would be great. Yeah, and I know my daughter's really worried.
Yeah, she seems to really care about you, and just thinking about it from a scale from 0 to 10, 10 being completely on board, what would you say you are? How ready are you to taper off a Suboxone if we were to say today?
Probably about a 6.
Okay. So what would make it a 6 and not a 10?
I'm scared of the withdrawal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if my daughter could take the time off work to come and stay with me.
Yeah.
So there would be those kind of details I would need to work out. And gosh, this would be a big change in my life.
Yeah.
So I have a lot to think about and I'm nervous about.
Yeah, I understand those concerns, and it sounds like your main concerns involve the withdrawal process and just making sure that you have the support system in place for that time. Is that correct?
Yeah, if I could get my daughter to come and help me, that would be great. I'd love that.
Yeah. So those things are great motivators, and it seems like this pain is limiting and controlling your life, not letting you get back to just like how you want to get back and lift up your grandkids and be around your daughter more often. Do you have any questions for me that could help in your decision-making process?
No, I can't think of anything right now. I guess I need to talk to my family and just think through and work through some of the details.
Yeah, I think those are great first steps on deciding if this is the right thing for you. I thank you for just being willing to talk to me and being open-minded about this. And just so you know, this is your decision. If you decide to do this, just let me know if you do, or if you don't, just don't. You're fine. Please just remember it's always your call what treatment options we go through. Do you mind if I give you this pamphlet that goes over some of the things that we've talked about today? And also just to remind you that if you did decide to taper off Suboxone, we would need to talk to your prescribing doctor and to just discuss the next steps with him as well.
Okay, that would be great.
Yeah, okay.
Thank
Sounds
you.
good. I'll go get the pamphlet.
All right.